Well, good morning. This is Morphite Ministries live number 21. And let me double check that everything's working here. Everything's not working, I'll tell you right up front, because my camera, as soon as it was working all the way up until I decided to hit go to start streaming and start actually doing this, and it just bugged out and stopped working. No idea why, no explanation, just dead. So you won't be able to see my wonderful, lovely, messy bed hair that I haven't done before getting ready for the day yet. But we are live. Let me make sure we're live. I'm checking on my phone. And okay, it shows we're live. Make sure audio's working. Yep, there we are. Okay. That away. It's giving some feedback. Okay. The other exciting thing is I'm going to try using logos today, which I set up as similar as I could to, for the time being, to Step Bible, which is what I was using before. So we're going to see how that goes. All right. Making sure it's all showing up here. Okay, cool. So where did we leave off last time? We're studying Torah, or not just Torah, really the voice of God, the things God speaks. Commandments of God. I'm going to rename this. I think I renamed it on the stream title already. So we'll change that there. Voice of God was the first thing we saw. Let's see. Let's get to our passage here. Genesis 26, 1 through 5. It's thinking. It's thinking. All right, and this is the this is my own setup for logos, and hibernate this so it's not taking up resources. And this is yeah, so it's got the inline what you flays it, all the stuff here, so I could look up, you know, the specific in Strong's or the morphology or all kinds of fun stuff. So all right. I'm scrolling too much, apparently. It went back to chapter... What are we supposed to be in? Chapter 20... Oh, so what do we need? So we need either 26. Does this move chapters? I don't know. There we go. Okay. There's a famine in the land beside the first famine, and we're looking and... Bless thee for unto thee, all that made it, make the seed to multiply, because that Abraham obeyed my voice. All right, so voice was the first one we were looking up. Voice is the word we were looking at. So we're gonna look up here, make sure I can find it the same way here. Call, voice or sound, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's in there. And did we already get our AHLB in there? We did. So the first thing we saw was voice. Voice, sound, noise, the sound of instrument, the faculty of utterance, the call of the shepherd to the sheep, has the idea of hurling or flinging it. So all of this is built into the voice of God. So when God tells Isaac, he says, Abraham, your father, obeyed my voice. He obeyed my literal voice, the sound that I made, the utterances that I made, the wind and thunder that he heard coming from me, the call of the shepherd to the sheep. All right, that is the first thing he says that Abraham obeyed. He also says he kept my charge. So let's put that in there. You know what? I'm going to switch these around. I'm going to say obeyed my voice. And all of this is reason why, I'm going to minimize that. All of this is reason why Abraham was blessed, why Abraham was given this covenant, or kept in covenant, I should say. Was because, that's what he says, because Abraham obeyed my voice, etc., etc. That's why he's in it. So, kept my charge is going to be our second phrase here. All right, and what I didn't do in the first one, I'm gonna do now is what does obey mean? What does he mean by obey? Shama. All right, we're gonna copy this whole thing. Oop, copy. All right, and that's gonna go under obey. Put all that under voice. And sorry, I'm doing a lot visually and not speaking much, but I'm trying to make sure. Okay, so the formatting on this is going to be different because it's displayed differently in different lexicons, but it's the same information. So Shama is to hear intelligently. That's the obeyed part. The voice part. I'm just going to put obey. And then voice here. So we know what's what. So obey is a, you know what? I know I keep switching up the formatting, but I kind of want it to be neat, you know? Okay, there we are, voice. And then that way I can actually untap that because it's also voice, but it's not under the other definition. All right. So obey means to hear intelligently, to call together carefully, certainly, consent, to consider, to be content, declare diligently, discern, give ear, listen, be obedient, proclaim, publish, etc., etc., etc. Now here, it's a verb, so I think we should have a morphology, right? Yes, it is call. Perfect. I don't know how you look at more information there. It is, wait, verb call, ketal. So I'm not seeing. Yeah, see, I'm still learning how to use this. I'm not seeing. I think that means that it's called VAP3MS, but I'm not seeing that the difference in the definitions here in our concise dictionary. We looked it up in Hebrew Strong's. How about to heed? Because if I search all resources, I'm going to get into a whole other mess, I think. Let's see if we look it up this way. Yeah, bear with me. I'm afraid I'm wasting time, or not wasting time, but I'm learning how to use this tool. And as I've said before, this is a live study with me, so really you're just watching me study. So if this is boring to you, or you're like, man, this, to watch this live is agonizing, then what you would probably want to do is start at the beginning of this playlist and watch these through, like on 1.1 or 1.25 speed, and so you can get the actual studying done without watching me struggle through trying to figure out how to use the software. Okay, here, cool. Okay, so here we have it in here. So obey, and I want to make sure I'm using the right morphology, meaning the form of the verb and everything, and I think it's right. But the problem is I can't see it. I don't, like it's showing me some of it, but not all of it on this little thing here. And I don't know if I'm missing something, if I'm doing something wrong. Make sure I don't have anything. This might be a problem. Turn off my ad blocker. Sometimes that breaks little widgets like that. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see if that fixed it. Oh, that didn't make a difference. Okay, whatever. So if it is call, then it means to hear wise sayings, any utterance or sound, hear one speaking, hear it said, etc. Hear with attention. Whereas if it was nif, it was to be heard, right? So then it would be the object of the verb would be different. You would be the one speaking, but obviously it's the one who is hearing and obeying. Anyway, so that's what we learn about obey. So he obeyed, he heard diligently, he listened, he perceived my voice, my shout, my utterance, the thunder that I put forth, the things that I hurled his way. Right? So that is everything contained in this idea of obeying my voice. So he paid close attention to what I was saying, essentially. And we see in our other translations, make sure it's on verse 5. We see in our other translations what they say. Abraham listened to my voice, is what it says in the Lexham English Bible. In the ESV, it says, loading, obeyed my voice. And in the Net Bible, it says, I'll load everything over and over again. Abraham obeyed me. Their little note here says, listen to my voice. So that is that first thing, okay? So that's what Abraham did there. Obeyed my voice. All right, so kept my charge. What does it mean to keep his charge, the charge of God? Well, to kept, let's see here. Is to keep watch over or guard. We're going to look that one up. And I don't know if it's, let's see. It says it's call, okay. As far as the form, the verb form, so that's the definition we're going to copy out. Huh, hate. Interesting. Hatred. Why does it have the idea of hatred in it? It's really interesting. I don't think I'm grabbing the right... Am I grabbing the right thing? I think I'm grabbing the right thing. Hating hatred. To keep watch over. Look it up in the Hebrew, in the Strong's first. To see. Nope. Yeah, see, I was getting something wrong there. All right, it means shamar, to hedge about. So it means to hedge about, to guard, to protect, to attend to, beware, be circumspect, take heed, look narrowly, observe, preserve, regard, reserve, save. So that is what he is doing to the charge here. He is hedging it about, he is guarding it. So the things that he's been charged with, which we'll look at charge in just a moment, he is protecting, he's keeping circumspectly. 8104, let's look that up in our ancient Hebrew lexicon. 8104 is, I'm sure it's in here somewhere. 8104. Translation, safeguard, shemer. So there we have the same thing, right? Shamar, yep. So, safeguard, translation would be safeguard. Definition would be the act or the duty of protecting or defending, to watch over or guard in the sense of preserving or protecting, to keep watch. So you'll be a guardian, keep, observe, or heed, etc. So we're going to copy that under here. And I'm also going to put the root of that, which is a close watching of something for guarding or protecting. Shepherds constructed corrals of briars at night to protect the flock from predators. That's interesting, because it'd be the relationship to parent is from the thorns used in constructing a corral. So if you know the Bible and you know anything about Jesus, that's already got something going on there. The idea of thorns. And that being protection, or providing a corral, a ring of protection, i.e. a crown of thorns. Let's go to the parent of that. Which is to pierce, store, uncover, or guard. Thorn, weapon, shield, briar. The abstract is hate, harm, or custody. The thorn, the seed of a plant with small sharp points, cause one to turn directions to avoid them. The pictograph is a picture of a thorn. The other pictograph is a picture of a seed. Combined, these mean thorn seed. And the reason why I put all of this in here is because these things are interrelated in the Hebrew mind, and so we need to understand that when someone says shamar, they mean to hedge about, as with thorns. That has the idea of hate, harm, or custody associated with it. That's not necessarily the meaning, but that's the abstract concept that is associated with the term shamar. So that makes a little more sense, I hope. All right, so he kept my charge. He was protecting my charge as if with a thorn or a ring of thorns, right? So what is a charge then? What are we talking about with a charge? What did God charge him with? Let's look it up in the Strong's. This is a noun. Mishmeret. This means watch, the act of the sentry, the observation. Interesting. So the charge then would be his observations, his observance, safeguard, or watch. So in other words, he watched his watch. he kept to what he was supposed to be keeping to, is kind of the idea here. Let's put that in there. 4931. That's the act or the sentry themselves of a post preservation. So when he says kept my charge, you guarded, you hedged about, you attended to your watch, the thing you should have been watching to. Basically, you did what you were supposed to do, but not just you did what you're supposed to do. You did what you're supposed to do in guarding and protecting what you were supposed to be guarding and protecting. 49, what was it? 4931. We're out of time, but I'm going to go ahead and plug this in here. 4931. A person or thing committed to the care of another, what is given to be watched over and protected. So it definitely has the idea of protection, of guarding something. Music stalled out on me again. Okay. And I'm going to put underneath that our other components here, which is our root. Where were we? 4931. Charge, ward, watch, keep, ordinance, office, or safeguard. And our root of that is close watching for. So it's the same thing. So he basically said you watched what you were supposed to watch. You protected what you were supposed to protect. Because it all goes back to this idea of the seed, the thorn seed. All right. So we're out of time, but that's as far as we got today. Was when he's talking about Abraham, and he said he kept my charge, meaning he guarded, he hedged about, he safeguarded my charge, the thing that I charged him with. And let me just make sure my actually means my. Yeah, first person. Okay. So that's important because he didn't keep the charge that he came up with. He didn't keep something that he thought was important. He kept what I told him to keep. So obeyed my voice means he hearkened to the things that I sent his way, and then kept my charge means he guarded the things he was supposed to guard. So in other words, I gave him something to guard and he kept it. I gave him something to keep and he kept it. So that's as far as we got today. I know it's not very far. Wish I could have done a little more. Had a few little issues going on, but if you liked any of this content or you want to see more of it, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Later on this week, we'll have coming up the live stream I'm going to be doing on Friday is going to be specifically on the stuff going on in Revelation that I've been studying, and last days stuff, and working on the book. So we'll dive into that a little bit. And starting at the beginning of the year, first week of the year, we're going to have our Everything is Spiritual podcast will be kicking off, and that'll be coming out hopefully once a week, might be every 2 weeks to start with, just so that we can keep it going and we don't fall behind. All right. If you have any questions, you have any comments, you have any prayer requests, leave those in the comments below. And otherwise, God bless. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.